Welcome, the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Happy Hump Day. And if you've been living under a rock and you're just turning in, we now have ownership of 1360 KHNC. I made it official yesterday. We dotted the I's. We crossed the T's. The contracts have been signed and delivered. Eric made the announcement with us yesterday. Eric is going to be the general manager of 1360 KHNC. I'm actually coming to you live from the studios here in Johnstown, Colorado. Jason and Ramon, Dave, Brian, Bernice, all these people helping us pull this whole thing off. And of course, we couldn't do it without all of you great listeners out there. We're setting up, taking donations. We're working on credit cards. We've got a new P.O. box. If you want to send us mail, if you want to put a donation in that, great. If you just want to write us a letter and let us know how we're doing, it's KHNC P.O. Box 104, Johnstown, Colorado, and the zip is 80534. 80534 is the zip code. We'll have that up on the website, I think, by the end of the day today. Got a lot of great things coming. For all of you great folks out there in Phoenix, don't forget 1360khnc.com. That's where you go. You can stream it all day long. I will be making a major announcement next week. We have some new programming coming. We're almost ready for it. I'll be making that announcement next week. Today, on the open forum, you're not going to want to miss it. We have, this is rarer than a spotted owl. If this was a species, it wouldn't be on the endangered species list. It would be on the endangered species list. People have gone years, centuries without seeing one of these. I'm talking about a sovereign citizen. That's right. Somebody not talking about it is 100% a free man, no social security card, no driver's license, nothing. He's 100% checked out. I will say this, that the fortitude to do it, I give a lot of credit to him. Tim is his name. He's going to be here on the open forum, so you're not going to want to miss it. For those of you that aren't in Colorado, go to 1360khnc.com. I met Tim the other day. It is a fascinating story. I know a lot of people have questions about how do you do it? How does it really work? I know I like to fantasize that I could do it, right? I can't do it. I can't. I don't have the chutzpah to pull it off, but he's going to be on the open forum today. And listen, this is what we're talking about. No other radio station wants. They don't want this out there. They don't want people to know how to do this. They want you to play by the laws and the rules that they created. They don't want you to talk about the Constitution. They to really talk about freedom. What they is for you to be a good little boy and girl and just do what we say. And of course, by and large, that's exactly what we do. So we're super excited. I can't wait for it. Open forum today. A sovereign citizen. I think somebody said to me, there's 14 of them in all of Colorado. So, and I view Colorado as one of those states where there'd probably be more of them than in a lot of other states. So, you kind of do the math and you're talking, there's less than probably 1,000 sovereign citizens in the entire United States. And when you talk about our republic, right, it's so important to have people like this that hold and have that fortitude, if you will, to say, you know what, I'm going to live by the rules that were laid out in the Constitution and serve as a reminder to all of us what true freedom really is. And I salute them. I support them. I'm so grateful to be able to give him a voice here today, and through all of our advertisers and the support of all our listeners and donations, and we'll keep doing it. We will keep doing it. We will keep pushing the envelope and bringing these things to you, along with a lot of other great programming out there. I got a great show lined up for you. We had a bunch of economic data. Is the slowdown taking another leg down? We've got that and so much more to talk about. It's the first week, so it's jobs week. We had ADP out today. We'll have jobless claims tomorrow, government jobs on Friday, and then the service sector today. That's the big part of the economy, not the manufacturing, but the service sector. We'll report about all of that when we return. Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial. We're back. Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and another great way to support the radio station. We've been on the air now 23 years. Going to be getting ready to turn to year 24. 100% supported by our customers when they do business with us. That keeps us going here. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. Any of you want to make a donation to the radio station and don't know the radio station's number, 970-587-5003. You can always call Patriot, and we'll take it there. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, however you want to do that. When you buy gold from us, same thing, check. We take all the credit cards, American Express, Discover, Visa, MasterCard, the bank wires. If you want to come in and pay cash, right, we do all of those things as well. And again, I'm giddy. I can't thank you enough. We're super excited about the opportunity that is in front of us here with 1360 KHNC now being in our control. You're going to see a lot of great changes now. We're really going to pick up the pace here for everybody. But having said that, we had a bunch of economic data out, led by first the fake news. Bloomberg reported unnamed sources this morning as trade talks getting closer. They're not. And again, the only hope on a trade deal would be the president relenting. And I hope that everybody's out there smart enough to realize this is not something he should. As a matter of fact, I think China is the enemy. They're public enemy number one. It's not the Saudis. It's definitely not Iran. It's not Venezuela. It's not North Korea. It's the Chinese. Listen, they're making a play to be number one. They want to be the world superpower. And I don't know if we can hold them back. Listen, their economy is big, right? You think about us. We've got a $21 trillion economy. Now, a lot of that's inflated. Right? It's inflated through the constant printing of money. Now, China's economy is about 14 trillion in US dollars. And so you look at it this way, we're like, well, 21, 14, 21's bigger than 14. We're number one. That's one way of looking at it. In dollar terms, we're number one. But I always like to look at it as stuff. Right? Because it really doesn't matter if your economy is 5 trillion, 20 trillion, 100 trillion, if it's all inflated money that's doing it. China's got the largest car market in the world, the largest oil consumer in the world, the largest coal consumer in the world, the largest consumer of cement, of copper, right? You start thinking about things that breed what power, right? They're in that age right now that they got 1.4 billion people. We've got 325 billion. So we've got to do everything in our powers to protect ourselves. And I hope that's not the case. But nonetheless, that kind of giving the market a little false sense of hope, because the economic data today, and I don't like it. I don't. I want the economic data to be better. Of course, I told you a year ago, right here, the economy's slowing down. I told you that a year ago. And of course, everybody out on the idiot box was still talking about 4% and 5% GDP. Remember? And again, who was the first guy to jump all over Trump about those tax cuts? I told you that was a bad idea. All his businesses have done is bought back their own stock. That's really about it. Yeah, they handed out a few bonuses, but that's all gone and by the wayside. And now we're talking about what? We're hoping, our fingers crossed, that we can get 2% GDP. If today's jobs number are any indication, that may be too high. ADP, they are the private sector. I don't like these guys. I think their job numbers are way overstated. But they came in with a number. They were expecting 150,000 jobs, and this was a November number. They only said the number was 67,000, so way, way below. And ADP, like I said, they're normally higher than the government number. And when they said that, when they looked at the underlying numbers, they definitely talked about a slowdown in place. Manufacturers, we know about that. Commodity producers. My guess there, I'm going to say oil. I don't know. You sit there and you think a barrel of oil still in the mid to upper 50s. But again, remember, a lot of the production we have is that oil that's unrefinable. In other words, it's too light, and they've got to mix it with a heavier oil, and so they get a lot less than that 50. Let's just say oil's 57. They may get 40 for their oil, and when you factor in, there's no inflation, it's not as profitable. Retailers, Black Friday, people bought online. Was a terrible, terrible weekend. The weekend after Thanksgiving for the brick and mortar retailers, more jobs. And that's not a good sign when retailers are laying off in November. You think about it, right? They're all hiring extra help. They need the extra help. But according to Moody's, that was not the case. Job openings, right? Now, this has been a number that's been great, right? Over 7 million plus. I think we got to like 7.6 million jobs are declining again. Matter of fact, I want to say now that's like the fourth or fifth month in a row that job openings are declining. Moody's Analytics called the slowdown more significant than they would have thought. And they don't think that it's because of the trade war. And that's the other thing, right? What has the trade war done? Why don't we go further? Right? And I'm just going to, let's take the talking heads on the TV. They're saying, no, there's no inflation, right? Prices aren't getting more expensive. And it's fine. It hasn't hurt the economy. That's what they're saying. I disagree. But that's what they're saying. If they were right, shouldn't we go further? Well, we'll see. December 15th, 11 days from today, we're supposed to get the next round of tariffs. We'll have to wait and see. By the way, transportation and utilities lost 15,000 jobs. Information services lost 18,000 jobs. Small businesses. This is the one that worries me right here. I just perfect time. Buy a radio station. Firms with less than 20 employees, which, by the way, makes up the vast amount of businesses in America, down 15,000. So now it's only 1 month. We'll have to wait and see how that leads, but not the number we were looking for on jobs. We'll get jobless claims tomorrow, and then Friday we'll get the government jobs number, and then we got the ISM survey numbers. Now, this is, you hear the story, right? The United States, we're a service economy now. That's just code for, hey, it's okay that we don't build anything anymore. And of course, when you stop building things, you stop becoming the main player in the world, right? When countries don't have to call you up to get their stuff, all of a sudden, what happens? Well, they get friendlier with the country they do have to call. I don't know if you guys know that they've created a system to circumvent the SWIFT system, which pays everybody when countries buy from other countries. View it like Visa or MasterCard. SWIFT processes the payments. And we just had half of the European countries sign up with Russia and China on a different system so they can circumvent when the U.S., when we like to punish countries, that's how we like to do it. And the reason is simple. Why all of a sudden? They would have never have done this 30 years ago. Never would have thought of it. But the answer, it's a simple answer. Hey, we really don't call you for stuff anymore. I mean, we call you when we want you to be the policeman of the world, right? And we love the IMF, and we love the United Nations, and we love NATO, right? And we love it because you usually pay for everything. And we love it when you put in your Patriot missiles and your missile defense systems, and when you go after the bad guys, and right, we love that. Right? When you do all the bombing for us and spend all the money, right? Yeah, okay. But other than that, we're on the phone to China, right? That's who we call, right? Hey, China, we need more shoes. Hey, China, we need more pants. Hey, China, we need more steel. Hey, China, we need more aluminum, right? We need more this and that. And that's the side they're going on. And now what are we left with? Right? We're left with this service economy, right? I don't fix my own plumbing. I call a plumber, right? I don't clean my own carpets. I call the carpet cleaner guy, right? And that's what they mean by service sector, right? Is I call somebody else to do something for me, right? I don't make anything. They don't make anything, but they provide a service to me, right? A locksmith, a carpet cleaner, or maybe it's the guy coming to fix your roof or something to that effect, right? A roofer. That's the service sector economy. The manufacturing sector, we know all about the manufacturing sector, right? It's in contraction. But now the service sector, which 6 months ago was about a 60, then they have these scales. Everyone's got a scale, right? In the service sector, the ISM is what they call it, the Institute for Supply Management. And I shouldn't be critical of these guys. They're headquartered in Tempe, Arizona, right? And I'm sure they're really swell people. Right. And they call up all of these businesses and they ask, hey, how you doing today? Yeah. How you feel? You feel good today? Things going okay? Hey, you hiring people? What are you doing? Right. And they have this survey. And of course, Wall Street takes this like facts. Most people don't want to tell you things are bad. Right. They try to hide, especially here, right? We got to keep up with the Joneses. Everyone wants the appearance that they're doing really well. And so that's why I always am suspect of these survey numbers. But on this scale, 50 is like 0. Okay, so just picture the scale. If 50 was 0, anything below 50 means it's in contraction. Anything above 50 means you're still growing. This was a number that was in the low 60s about a year ago. And of course, this was at a time I told you it's slowing. The number today was 53.9. The number last month was 54.7. Just to give you some other market service PMI, 51.6. ISM manufacturing, 48.1. So you got to get the flavor. We're right there at the brink here. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, a national volunteer organization founded by Phyllis Schlafly and continuing to uphold her legacy by honoring family values, opposing radical feminism, and representing a conservative perspective in our nation's capital. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
President Trump's withdrawal of troops from Syria drew criticism from politicians in both parties. But it sent an unmistakable message that the United States is not going to be the world's policeman anymore. Trump is a deal maker to the core. He knows being the world's policeman is a no-win situation for us. Either the world hates us because we're there to help, or they hate us because we aren't. Why waste our time and our money and our people? Our soldiers should not stand in harm's way indefinitely just to protect people who don't even like us. Globalists insist that the Kurds were our friends and that Trump should not have withdrawn troops from their controlled territories in Syria. Videos taken after the pullout show a much different story. Ungrateful, grown Kurdish men pelted our American troops with food, rocks, and profanities. These videos confirm President Trump's view that American troops should come home where they can be helpful to America rather than risk their lives for people who do not respect us. American soldiers have long sacrificed their own lives to help others, but the lack of gratitude in this situation confirms it's time to pull out. The craziest part of this whole thing is that liberals have even called for building a wall to protect the Kurds. Remember, these are the same politicians who oppose building a wall to protect our own southern border against violence and an influx of drugs. Clearly, they're being completely disingenuous when they criticize Trump's bold moves. They don't care about the fate of the Kurds. They would have objected if Trump had pulled a puppy out of a pit of quicksand. All they care about is taking him down by any means necessary. Trump's action is an America First move, plain and simple. It's time to cut through the political quagmire. Just because we have the greatest fighting force in the world doesn't mean we have to go around solving the problems of people who think our troops are nothing more than target practice for their rotten tomatoes. Trump is right to focus most on the people he helps the most, Americans.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. America is safe only when America is strong. Our national defense requires the most modern technology and best-trained soldiers, and there should be no social politics or idle threats coming out of Washington. At phyllisschlafly.com, we take this work very seriously. Please visit phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
I will tell you, something very weird is happening. Premiums are starting to rise again. Product is getting very difficult to come about. Like today, if you want to buy 20s today, they're going to be AUs. Can't get any of our regular material because we bought it all. 10th ounce American Gold Eagles. Yep. Don't have any. The mint If you want to buy 10th ounce, I can get them for you. You've just got to buy 5,000 of them. Don't ask me why, but that's the number. But today I got two. Not only are they great items, but the price is absolutely fantastic. I've got 20 $10 Indians. Okay, and we know the history of the Indians. This is the $10 Indian. This is the Lady Liberty with the Indian headset on. I've got 20 of those. And here's what I love about it. They're at $800, which is only $5 more than a $10 Liberty. Normally you pay about you pay 20, 30, sometimes $40 more for a $10 Indian. So I've got 20 $10 Indians at $800. And then I've got 40 $5 Liberties at $400. So you're going to be able to get fractional gold. You look at a $20 gold piece right now, it's $1,550. So for an extra $50, you essentially can divide that 2 ways or 4 ways, whether you get a $10 Indian or a $5 Lib, and have fractional gold. And when you can buy fractional that close to 20s, that's when it gets exciting. That's when it gets fun. That's when you want to buy. So I've got 40 $5 Liberties at $400 a piece. And I've got 20 $10 Indians at $800 a piece. Really, this is a tough one. Which one do I buy? You twist my arm and I say both. And you can mix it up. You want 4 $5 Libs and 2 $10 Indians? Great. If you want 4 $10 Indians and 2 $5 Libs, however you want to do it, a great fractional gold opportunity. And here's the nice part. You're saving $15 per coin on each one of those items. So really great value here this morning. I wish the quantities were better. Get used to it. I think this is what we're going to start seeing here more and more. We're going to start seeing premiums rising, availability as everybody's watching these central banks and all the gold they're buying out there and slowdowns. You know, if we're the best, right? Because that's the mantra out there. Well, we're better than Japan, and we're better than Europe. We're better than Australia and South America. Well, if that's true, it's not by a lot, right? And if today's in the indication, even 2% may be difficult to come by. And again, I think the central bank's going to zero. We're not done with rate cuts. I know they want to pretend, oh yeah, we fixed it. It's fine. Don't worry. It was a mid-cycle adjustment. I think it's something much worse than I think we're just in this really the end here of fiat money, at least when you talk euros and dollars and yen. They've printed all too much. Nobody wants it anymore. Patriot Radio News Hour. Get your gold put away. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back. 800-951-0592. That is the number to Patriot Trading Group. The number to 1360 KHNC. 970-587-5003. Our new P.O. Box, if you want to send us a note or make a donation, P.O. Box, KHNC, P.O. Box 104, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. We'll have that up on the website. Don't forget, we've got maybe the most endangered species in all of the world coming up next on the open forum. An actual sovereign citizen right here in our studios at KHNC. So make sure if you're an out-of-towner, jump on to 1360khnc.com and you can hear Tim, what I've been told, one of only 14 sovereign citizens in the state of Colorado. So that's coming up next. And again, the specials today, 2 great items. Just I wish the quantities were better. $10 Indians. We only had 20 of them. I'm not in Phoenix, so I don't know how many are left. We had 20 $10 Indians at $800. That is, I mean, essentially you're paying a whole $5 more than a $10 lib. That's nothing. Get them, put them away. That's great value. And then we had $45 liberties. They're regularly $415 down to $400. Again, at 800-951-0592. And again, I apologize. I'm not in Arizona, so I don't know how many are going to be remaining. So I know you want to hear the show and do all that, but make sure take the time, be your own central bank, get your financial house in order. That's more important than any of the news that I'm going to say. The president over at NATO, it's so funny. We talked about NATO. He's at NATO today, and all the liberal media trying to portray him as, oh, he got embarrassed and he's an idiot and he's a moron. Trump's no moron. And obviously he isn't. I mean, look at what he's created with his Trump brand, which everybody seemingly loved, right? Until the guy was president. We loved him on TV. You're fired, right? I'm looking at these headlines, and they're talking about, the rest of the nation's trying to ignore them. They're not ignoring them. You know what they are? They don't want to deal with it. Because you know what? The truth hurts. And the president, he's not going to be nice to them. Honor your commitments. Do what you're supposed to do, and we won't have a problem. Don't take advantage of the United States, and we won't have a problem. And if you do, guess what? I'm going to call you out on that. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that what you want? You always say, and I say it all the time, I just want people to shoot it to me straight, right? Just tell me the truth. Give it to me straight. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't, right? Oh, no. How many of you say that, right? Hey, just tell me what it is. And we can deal with it. We're all big boys. But you know what? We're not anymore, are we? Right? We've got to be politically correct and all sensitive. And why? Right? That's not what we want. Is that really what? How many times have you said to yourself, man, I wish this person would sugarcoat this for me and be all nice about it? And no, we don't say that. Well, I don't know anybody that wants to be treated that way. Give me the facts. Tell me what it is. And you see all these other leaders, right? They don't want to hear that. Oh, that's not how we do politics. Right? This isn't how it works. Right? We don't want you to tell us what to do. And the second, this is just the realities. The debt is killing us. But we were 23.1 trillion. Don't want our debt anymore. We're losing face with the rest of the world. They're teaming up with China and Russia and more than what you really know. Right? All the behind the scenes work. Then you had, our central bank trying to lie about what they're doing with our digital currency, right? And every once in a while they got, okay, yeah, we are working on it, right? China's going to get ready to launch theirs. All the gold buying that's been going on, and it's not, like I said, it's so much. Something's up. And they already know it. The problem is by the time we all figure it out, and I actually think what we're going to see is digital currency, money's going away. They're going to create the next crisis. Jeff Gundlach, if you go out to our website, you got to scroll down towards the bottom, but there's a great interview with Jeffrey Gundlach talking about what's going to happen at the next crash. Now, I don't know when it's going to be, right? The farther away, the better. But the amount of losses that are going to be taken, you got to have that wealth insurance in place before it happens, right? You can't buy insurance after you've had the accident, right? right? Hey, I didn't have any car insurance. I got in this huge accident. Now I want to call them and get the insurance. It doesn't work that way, right? And gold is insurance, and we say it all the time, right? It's wealth insurance. It's going to keep you whole. Whatever you insure, if you insure $5,000 or $10,000, $100,000, $500,000, right? However much you insure, all this it's going to do, whatever you could, let's just say 10 grand, right? What could you buy for 10 grand today? Right? Not a lot of stuff. Can you buy a new car for 10 grand? Right? I mean, the cheapest new, right? I think you get a real stripped down 4-cylinder car that you got to use your foot to get it started like Fred Flintstone. I think you can buy one of those for like 20. Right? The average price of a new car is like 37 grand. I hear the music. So here we go. We're coming up on a break. I'll finish that wealth insurance story when we return. Final segment, Patriot Radio News Hour. Central bank gold demand hitting a new record. It looks like a new record high, well, at least a 50-year record high. In 2019, surpassing last year's record in 2018. Be your own central bank. You know, we're talking about 10,000, right? How little it buys anymore, but there's no inflation. How about this? You know, maybe you got a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, or maybe you got a kid heading off to college and you want to get them a used car. And you don't want, you know, a crappy one. You want something decent. And even at 10 grand, you probably can't get decent, right? But you can get, you know, okay, maybe a high mile, but, you know, something reliable, but a high mile car for about $10,000. You know, 10 years from now, that car, maybe it'll be 15,000. Maybe it'll be 20. Who knows? Could be 30 electronic credits, 30,000 electronic credits. If you put $10,000 worth of gold away today, you're still going to be able to get that used car for your kid's 16th birthday 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, no matter what it costs. And, of course, it won't be in dollars. You know, I was hopeful that we'd get another 10 years of the dollar. I don't know that we do. I think you know, if you listen to the Jeffrey Gundlach interview, and I'll try to have that for Friday, but if you listen to it at allamericangold.com, that may be the trigger point, right? Because they're going to remember how they bring it to us. There's a crisis, and this is going to be the fix. This is how we're going to fix it. And this is going to absolve us of our sins, if you will, by going to this digital currency. And everyone will be so hard up because they weren't their own central bank. They didn't have any gold put away. They didn't have that hedge. They didn't have something that wasn't a promise to pay or a debt, right? They only owned stocks. They only owned bonds. They only had their money in the bank. That's not going to protect you. Make sure you call us 800-951-0592. While supplies last. The $10 Indians today at $800. Just great value on a $10 Indian today. And, of course, the $5 Liberty gold pieces at $400 on both of those coins. You're saving $15 a piece. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. And don't forget, an hour from now, we're going to have on the open forum, Tim, one of the very, very few, the endangered species, the sovereign citizen. This guy, no driver's license, no social security number, no social security card. I mean, none of it. Truly living the life of freedom, and the government hates it, right? They don't want you to do it, right? They want you to play by the rules that they made up. That's coming up Everybody else, have a great day. Eric's going to be back tomorrow. Everybody take care. God bless everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.